Freddie Mercury, born Farrokh Bulsara, the 5th of September 1946 to 20th November 1991, was a British singer and songwriter who achieved global fame as the lead vocalist and pianist of the rock band Queen. Regarded as one of the greatest singers in the history of rock music, he is known for his flamboyant stage persona and four-octave vocal range. Mercury defied the conventions of a rock frontman with his theatrical style, influencing the artistic direction of Queen. Born in 1946 in Zanzibar to Indian parents from the Parsi community, Mercury attended British boarding schools in India from the age of 8 and returned to Zanzibar after secondary school. In 1964, his family fled the Zanzibar Revolution, moving to Middlesex, England. Having previously studied and written music, he formed Queen in 1970 with guitarist Brian May and drummer Roger Taylor. Mercury wrote numerous hits for Queen, including Killer Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, Somebody to Love, We Are the Champions, Don't Stop Me Now, and Crazy Little Thing Called Love. His charismatic stage performances often saw him interact with the audience, as displayed at the 1985 Live Aid concert. He also led a solo career and was a producer and guest musician for other artists. Mercury was diagnosed with AIDS in 1987. He continued to record with Queen and was posthumously featured on their final album, Made in Heaven 1995. In 1991, the day after publicly announcing his diagnosis, he died from complications of the disease at the age of 45. In 1992, a concert in tribute to him was held at Wembley Stadium in benefit of AIDS awareness. As a member of Queen, Mercury was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001, the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2003, and the UK Music Hall of Fame in 2004. In 1990, he and the other Queen members received the Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to British Music. One year after his death, Mercury received the same award individually. In 2005, Queen were awarded an Ivor Novello Award for Outstanding Song Collection from the British Academy of Songwriters, Composers, and Authors. In 2002, Mercury was voted number 58 in the BBC's poll of the 100 Greatest Britons. Personal life. In 1969, a year before Queen had formed, Mercury met Mary Austin through Brian May. Austin worked at the fashion boutique Biba in Kensington, London, where they met. They subsequently began a long-term relationship. He lived with Austin for several years in West Kensington. By the mid-1970s, he had begun an affair with David Minnesota's, an American record executive at Elektra Records. In December 1976, Mercury told Austin of his sexuality, which ended their romantic relationship. Mercury moved out of the flat they shared and bought Austin a place of her own near his new address of 12 Stafford Terrace, Kensington. Mercury and Austin remained friends through the years. Mercury often referred to her as his only true friend. In a 1985 interview, he said of Austin, "All my lovers asked me why they couldn't replace Mary, but it's simply impossible. The only friend I've got is Mary, and I don't want anybody else. To me, she was my common-law wife. To me, it was a marriage. We believe in each other. That's enough for me." Mercury's final home, Garden Lodge, an 8-bedroom Georgian mansion in Kensington set in a quarter-acre manicured garden surrounded by a high brick wall, was picked out by Austin. Austin married the painter Piers Cameron. They have 2 children. Mercury was the godfather of her older son, Richard. In his will, Mercury left his London home to Austin, having told her, "You would have been my wife, and it would have been yours anyway." From 1979 to 1985, while living in Munich, Mercury was friends with Austrian actress Barbara Valentin, who is featured in the video for It's a Hard Life, and initially lived together with her and her daughter before moving into his own apartment. In Munich, Mercury was able to escape the media spotlight, lived out his sexuality, drifted in the local gay scene, and had an intense love relationship with German restaurateur Winfried Winnie Kirchberger. Mercury also lived temporarily at Kirchberger's apartment and thanked him for board and lodging in the liner notes of his 1985 album Mr. Bad Guy. He wore a silver wedding band given to him by Kirchberger. A close friend described him as Mercury's great love in Germany. By 1985, he began another long-term relationship with Irish-born hairdresser Jim Hutton, whom he referred to as his husband. Mercury described their relationship as one built on solace and understanding, and said that he honestly couldn't ask for better. Hutton, who tested HIV positive in 1990, lived with Mercury for the last 7 years of his life, nursed him during his illness, and was present at his bedside when he died. Mercury wore a gold wedding band given to him by Hutton in 1986 until the end of his life. He was cremated with it on. Hutton later relocated from London to the bungalow he and Mercury had built for themselves in Ireland. Friendship with Kenny Everett. Radio disc jockey Kenny Everett met Mercury in 1974 when he invited the singer onto his Capital London breakfast show. As two of Britain's most flamboyant, outrageous, and popular entertainers, they shared much in common and became close friends. In 1975, Mercury visited Everett, bringing with him an advance copy of the single Bohemian Rhapsody. Despite doubting that any station would play the 6-minute track, Everett placed the song on the turntable and, after hearing it, exclaimed, "Forget it, it's going to be #1 for centuries." Although Capital Radio had not officially accepted the song, Everett talked incessantly about a record he possessed but could not play. He then frequently proceeded to play the track with the excuse, "Oops, my finger must have slipped." On one occasion, Everett aired the song 14 times over a single weekend. Capital's switchboard was overwhelmed with callers inquiring when the song would be released. During the 1970s, Everett became advisor and mentor to Mercury, and Mercury served as Everett's confidant. Throughout the early to mid-1980s, they continued to explore their homosexuality and use drugs. Although they were never lovers, they did experience London nightlife together. By 1985, they had fallen out, and their friendship was further strained when Everett was outed in the autobiography of his ex-wife Lee Everett Alkin. In 1989, with their health failing, Mercury and Everett were reconciled. Everett died from AIDS-related illness just over 3 years after Mercury. Sexual orientation. While some commentators said Mercury hid his sexual orientation from the public, others said he was openly gay. In December 1974, when asked directly, "So how about being bent?" by the New Musical Express, Mercury replied, "You're a crafty cow. Let's put it this way, there were times when I was young and green. It's a thing schoolboys go through. I've had my share of schoolboy pranks. I'm not going to elaborate further." Homosexual acts between adult males over the age of 21 had been decriminalized in the United Kingdom in 1967, 7 years earlier. During public events in the 1980s, Mercury often kept a distance from his partner, Jim Hutton. Mercury's flamboyant stage performances sometimes led journalists to allude to his sexuality. Dave Dixon, reviewing Queen's performance at Wembley Arena in 1984 for Kerrang!, noted Mercury's camp addresses to the audience and even described him as a posing, pouting, posturing tart. Some believe Mercury was bisexual. For example, regarding the creation of Celebrate Bisexuality Day, American activist Wendy Curry said, "We were sitting around at one of the annual bi conventions, venting, and someone, I think it was Gigi, said we should have a party. We all loved the great bisexual Freddie Mercury. His birthday was in September, so why not Sept? We wanted a weekend day to ensure the most people would do something. Gigi's birthday was September 23rd. It fell on a weekend day, so, poof, we had a day. The 2018 biopic of Mercury, Bohemian Rhapsody, received criticism for its portrayal of Mercury's sexuality, which was described as sterilized and confused, and was even accused of being dangerous. For more interesting personalities, please do watch our other Who's You series. Please like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to the spectacular world of 1000 vlogs.